You guys want to go see a dead body? Blah 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 blah.
Perfect.
The end. That's the end of that story.
That's the whole video. Swayze.
Whoa, my love. Oh, Jesus. Oh shit, I didn't f***ing film that. Come on into the ditch. I'm your resident ditch witch, Tara Tyne, and we are about to get witchy, whether you like it or not. Today we are heading north to Ballydugan Medieval Settlement, where there is lots of Viking reconstructed life going on. Very much looking forward to it. I heard about it from my friend John Kerr, who did the Norman talk with me a few weeks back. You'll remember John. Thank you very much, John. Great recommendation. Can't wait to check the place out. And from what I've heard, John went for a visit and ended up getting recruited because he's also a leather worker. So really looking forward to getting up here, chatting with some people that know their stuff, that can tell us about all the different aspects of Viking life. And it's really great to have somewhere to go with restrictions still kind of happening and you're not too sure what's going on. Well, this is a place that is open, so if you need a day out with the kids, this is probably going to be something that you're going to want to look at. You're free to bring a picnic, which we have done, and to spend the day, and it's a very reasonable entry price as well. So yeah, we're going to be there soon. Check it out. It's a 1 hour drive from Dundalk to Ballydugan Medieval Settlement. I found out afterwards I'd been mispronouncing it on the day of shooting, sorry about that. Anyway, it's situated a couple of miles south of Downpatrick in County Down and is less than 30 miles from Belfast. John de Courcy, one of the more notable Anglo-Norman figures in Dundalk's history, built a Benedictine abbey here in the 12th century. He's reported to have found the bones of St Patrick, St Bridget and St Columkill in a cave here and enshrined them in his church. And who else, only bloody Edward de Bruce, stormed in, wrecked the gaff and stole Patrick's right hand. What a get. Alright, we have just landed at Ballydugan Medieval Village. So I'm going to turn you around here now and just show you the first sight that you meet whenever you come in. There's a reconstructed Viking longboat. We were kindly informed by the Viking at the entrance that they actually regularly construct smaller boats as well and carry out the so-called Viking burials at sea, which is a bit of a controversial topic on this channel, but I'm really looking forward to getting in here and seeing some more.
We follow the trail.
Oh yeah, there's an actual...
Yeah, it tells
so
you
there's
where
an
to go.
actual trail here. I'd be tempted to just follow the shiny things. Okay, so here is our trail, our map that we've been given on the way in. So we're going to follow that and see what we can see. Ho ho! This is all feeling a lot more familiar than it should. What do you think, Paul? Ho ho! So we're at the longhouse now.
This is the longhouse. So this is the heart and soul of the village. It's where all of the feasting and drinking would have happened. So anytime there was a big celebration or ritual or event in the village, they would have come into the longhouse for all their feasting celebration.
Fabulous.
At the end here we have the Jarl's seat. So this is where the Jarl, or the head of the clan, would sit. He's on break today. There were woman warriors. They've found recently in some old excavations that they've re-examined the bones and they were actually females.
Yes.
So they would have been military leaders. Some of the graves they've found have definitely been of status.
Yes.
Warriors. Not every warrior had a sword. That was like having a Ferrari in those times, so not every warrior would have a sword. Everyone would have had an axe because you would use it around the home for cutting wood and all the rest. So most warriors would have had a spear or an axe. You'll learn more about that over at our weapons stall. I won't steal his thunder, but Having a sword would have been the equivalent of like having a Maserati. So not everyone could afford one. So when you find a grave that has a sword in it, you know they're a very high status warrior or a high status burial.
I think I forgot my sword today. That's the only problem. I might be in the wrong
Hold
chair.
that thought.
Oh! So, you know, as today's Jarl, for right now, I have taken this throne. This is mine. I look forward to leading my people with honour, with valour, with fearsome passion for the fight. Roar! Let's get drunk!
It's a project our group's been working on for around 10 years. And you can see there's still bits of it not complete. So in non-COVID times, we normally let people put a few stitches in. So it comes wherever we travel. It has stitches in it from Denmark and Norway and Scotland and England and all over Ireland. So it's a labour of love. And around the outside where you're filming at the moment is just everyday scenes of Viking life. So feasting and cooking and fishing, hunting. And the ones around the top are our gods and goddesses and the Norse cosmos and all the mythology.
Everything in its right place, I suppose. Aye, this is Valhalla and Odin up here, and Valhalla's a bit cozier than I would have imagined.
In Valhalla they fight all day and then the dead rise and they feast all night. So it's a great place to be if you're a fallen warrior. That's exactly where you want
That
to spend
sounds like great crack, is
the
right?
rest of your days.
Yeah.
But not everybody gets to go there, and the ones who choose are down here. These are the Valkyries. And they're Odin's handmaidens, and they are fierce warrior women who fly over the battlefield. And Valkyrie actually means chooser of the slain. So they're the ones who get to decide who goes to Odin's hall and who goes to Freya's hall or any of the other halls.
That's fascinating. And they also come with an excellent soundtrack,
They
the
do.
Valkyries.
Yeah.
Oh, God. What's going on over here?
Here, this is Loki. He is a shapeshifter, and he's the god of mischief, and he makes all sorts of trouble for the gods. The Aesir are the main gods of Asgard, and I don't know how Loki got mixed up in them, but he seems to float in and out from Asgard to the land of the giants.
Okay.
Over here is the Norns, and they believed, they sat at the foot of Yggdrasil, and Yggdrasil is the world tree, and the Vikings believed that there were 9 worlds centered around a massive tree, and the Norns sat at the foot of the tree and they would weave the fates of men. So when they cut a string, that was it for them. They're done. And here in the middle you have what they called Midgard, which was the world of men where we live, and up here is Asgard, where the gods would have lived, and all the various other 9 worlds. And down here at the roots, of course, you have Helheim. If you've gone there, you're definitely not in Valhalla.
You've gone the wrong way.
And Fenrir, the wolf, was actually one of Loki's children, and Tyr raised Fenrir from a pup, but then he was getting too big and too unruly for the Aesir gods, so they started to ask to bind him, and everything they bound him with he just burst right out of, and he thought it was a great game until the gods decided that they would go to the dwarves and get a magic rope forged. At this point, Fenrir was getting a bit suspicious, so he said, "I'll only let you bind me if one of you will put your hand in my mouth." And so when he couldn't break the bind, he bit Tyr's hand off, which is why we know him as the god of self-sacrifice, courage.
Ah. Would you put your hand in there now?
Don't think so.
No. Yeah, so quite fearsome looking, all right.
And that's him again up there, Fenrir the wolf. And that's at Ragnarok, which is the Viking end of days, when he breaks his bonds and he swallows the sun.
Hello, how are you?
Roasted.
Yeah.
Oh
Forecast, I thought it was going to be lashing rain.
That's what I thought too. Sort of hoping.
Bacon.
Taking some bread. Would you like to try some?
Definitely.
And we've got some bread with thyme and chives.
Wow.
All
Mind if I
freshly.
try it?
Yes, absolutely. There's honey and there's garlic butter and there's some butter I made this morning.
Wowza.
From hand because you lose your
Strawberry and apple with. Jeez, but you like to get that nowadays. That's quality. How does that feel in the hand now? Could you see you throwing that successfully?
Or give me yours. Uncle.
No messing there, boy.
More bread today, is it? That's why I have to keep feeding her.
I know. Oh, textile hut, yes. Excellent. So we're going to get a bit of ancient weaving in here, and it looks like we've got samples of all the different kinds of yarn.
Yeah. To get my corner cleared, so I'm going to put on this to get next.
Toby, do you want to tell these people what they're playing?
What is this game that's being played here?
It's called Naftafel. It's a Viking board game where one player plays as king and the defenders, and their job is to basically save the king and run to one of the corners and survive, while the attackers are the other players, and their job is to block off the king and then try to capture him and defeat him.
Excellent. Very, very complex now by the looks
It's
of it.
not as bad as it seems. You have to have one either side of
A piece
a piece to take that piece out.
Right.
Apart from the king,
You have to get on all four sides.
all four sides for the king. I'm the white.
And they all move, like, they can move any amount of squares adjacently.
That's not good. That is not good. Oh dear. How do we get him around there? I'll go for it. Alright, I'm stuck. I have to get you to do something. Hey, you missed a chip. You, guess who's lost? You! That's the winner. That was clever. Got him in the corner. Did you see that coming? Very good.
Do you want to do the card weaving? Did Kira show you the card weaving first, and then we can do my tour?
That's brilliant. Yeah.
Just while you're there, because you'll escape.
Okay, I'll give you.
And this one.
Yeah. Okay. How many moves do you reckon you could do it?
So, what's going on over here?
This is tablet weaving.
The amount of moves I could do.
I'm using what's called a stick loom. The Vikings would have used the tablet weaving to decorate their tunics and their dresses, or they also would have worn them as belts. The pattern I'm working on at the minute is the Birka pattern, and there's a few other examples of patterns here. This is the Osberg pattern, and that's ram's horn. That's dragon head, and these are all versions of a basic chevron pattern. Just these are diamond patterns that just turning the cards different way will create different patterns.
Oh, okay. So we're going to get a chance to see some of that happening, are we?
Yeah, certainly. So basically, however way you turn the cards will determine the pattern.
Block off all the corners, no matter which one you go for.
A cunning plan.
I know what I'm doing. It's all pre-prepared.
Sound like Baldrick out of a Blackadder. Blackadder? Yeah, the LTV show.
As you can see, it's slow work, but
I have a cunning plan.
Oh, yeah. Aldrich.
Oh, you've done this before.
He's a master, so don't worry.
this particular pattern has 8 different turning sequences, so it's remembering
No, so what he said at the start, block off the corners.
uh,
Yeah.
how many turns and which way.
What you can do is if you kill every single other piece I have, then I'll be forced to move out of the corner.
Right, no. So I need to surround.
And as you can see, that creates the pattern.
Yes.
You can't surround anything right now until I move.
That's what I'm saying.
The battery I just
And you
try to
think
get
you'd be
the
bad
thing
trying to count your stitches in crochet? Like, this looks like 8 times the work.
It's complicated and very time consuming, but it creates very pretty patterns.
Yes. Yes, and I suppose when you've time by the fireside of an evening.
If you kill
Yeah, in the winter, whenever
and these ones, then I'll be forced to move one of the other ones.
cold and if you're not spinning, you're weaving. So.
That's it, yeah.
But yeah, if you want to pop over to Jane there, she'll explain how they would have got the wool
Excellent.
to do the pattern. Is that okay?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So anyway, so this is
Entirely safe.
a story of fabric, as I call it. Okay. So you start off with your sheep's wool, straight off the sheep, which is all pretty disgusting. And in Viking days, they would have had the slaves to sit and sort that all out, pull off all the dirty bits, wash it, and dry it. And then you have a different wool, but this is a dried one. This is what's been done to this. It's a Norwegian grey.
Yes.
And then, so these are like wee hooks, they're like a dog
Yes.
comb sort of thing.
This is carding the wool now.
Carding wool, that's it.
The wool that has been skirted conveniently by somebody else.
Cleaned, yes. I was still waiting for me to clean. I've had that here. Oh God, God bless it.
Look at it happens. My first video on this channel was actually making a sheep's wool rug from 3 bags of Valet sheep's wool. With absolutely no, cleaning it.
God.
And felting it is what I did.
Felting's good fun, you know. Haven't felt it for a long time.
Yeah, it was good fun.
So you just keep going like that. Put that one over there. And you keep going till it's all nice and smooth. This wool is kind of curly, so it doesn't go completely straight.
Yes.
You say your plans along.
Oh, I did, didn't I?
Yeah, you do.
I was going to move them anyway. But
No, you don't. I know.
And then you just roll it
You
out.
do something like Jenny, you know.
And you have it to colour as a rolag.
You never expect
And that's
to
what
move
you
this bit.
spin with. And that drop spindle has been used since like Neolithic times. They found wee whorls in Neolithic burial chambers and stuff. So it's as old as fabric. This is how they made it.
Yes.
So that's your whorl. And here's your spindle.
I feel like this is apocalypse survival skills we're getting here.
Yes, well, it might be so. And like the spinning wheel that everybody thinks about, that actually didn't come into use until like the 1200s in Europe. And then it came over here with the flax. And the rest, as they say, is history.
Yes.
Flax arrived, the spinning wheel arrived. And all was history. Up until then, they used nettle. I've got nettle over there to show you. And of course, then cottons arrived as well.
That's where the king goes.
They used nettle, so nettle was the most popular here up until the spinning wheel
Yeah,
came.
it was still used in some of the islands off the west coast until really fairly recently. Because it's fairly, there's a lot of it.
Yeah, there is.
And it works the same way. You just take the big stalks and bash them up, and the fibres inside, and you dry them, and you have your fibres. They're just like linen. I'll show you the linen. So you see that white now on the wind's blowing.
Yes.
So what you do is this spin
Yes.
goes up into your fingers until you feel it coming, and then you release the next bit, and it winds up to that. So you have to catch it before it winds up into your roll-off. I can spin. So I can feel it coming into my fingers, and as soon as I feel it, I let go, and it spins.
I like this a lot better than the look at the spinning wheel now.
Oh, the spin wheel's fun. I have one of them as well.
I thought I'd like to give it a go, but this looks like something you can walk
sit and
around
do it.
and do. Like,
Yeah, this is exactly what they did.
yeah.
You know, there's pictures of, well, not so much, but certainly in Iceland and stuff where it lasted, of women walking around spinning with, you know, kids on their hips and making the dinner up
Yeah.
a big pot, spinning away. And it's something that everybody did.
Yeah.
In the winter when the traders and the raiders were home, you know,
Yes.
the men spun as well. Everybody spun.
Yeah.
Because as you can see, it takes so long.
Well, because everybody wore clothes.
Yep, and it takes a long time to make it.
That's it.
That's that wee bit done. And then what you have to do then is unwind this and wind it round your spool. So it all takes such a long time.
yeah, just try to send as many plans to stop me from closing it up again until you can get your thing in.
You have to wind it on.
I need to set my white piece.
So they started learning how to spin like as soon as you were able to walk nearly.
Yes.
And everybody did it.
Yeah.
Alright. Okay, I'll do it next time.
So there's some schemes that I've already made. Just wind them off on here. With the Norwegian grey. And this is Jacob's wool.
Alright.
Some of it thicker than others because you can just make it as thick as you want, really.
That's like the thickness you'd want for your Aran jumpers now.
Very much so.
That's the stuff to protect fishermen when they go out on the sea.
And they wouldn't have washed the wool,
Yes.
left the lanolin in it,
Yeah.
pushed it.
Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
would have probably been a bit smelly, but it was effective.
They were
waterproofing.
waterproof, is right, yeah.
And then you would spin it. Once it's spun and put in the reels, then you have to weave it into fabric. Mm-hmm. That's a wee purse I made at one point for myself. Woven. They didn't knit, they did weaving or nail binding, which I haven't got anybody here to show you. It's a bit like knitting, but you use a thumb and a stick.
Oh, right.
And it looks kind of like knitting on its own. And then when you've woven your fabric, then you had to dye it.
Yes.
Onions there.
Onion.
Bark. Onion make it a kind of yellow.
Yellow, yeah.
And it depends on what bark you're using, what colour the bark comes out
Yes. Do you know, I've done extensive looking into
at. Natural dye.
natural dye. Have I actually done it? No, I haven't.
No, it's quite a process really.
Yes.
And nowadays there's a chemical you put in it, aluminium or something you put in to seal it.
Yes.
In medieval times they would have used urine.
Yes, that's right.
Uh-huh.
That was, I mean, there's, I think that was up until quite recent times in Ireland.
Yes, they still did it there.
It was popular, and probably England too.
Yeah, with the ammonia.
Yes.
There's some smell of, but it worked. It sealed the colour in. So, and I've got different types of wool here for you to see.
Oh, fabulous.
You need it. Really very like flax, only just a little bit rougher. Mm-hmm. There's your flax. And this is bleached flax.
Oh.
And when you leave it out and bleach it in, this has been done artificially
In the
obviously
sun?
nowadays, but in the old days they would have just spread it out under the sun and let the sun bleach the colour out of it.
Yes.
So flaxen-haired ladies. That's what it was. And this is some that I've spun into thread. It makes a really nice thread, but it is really strong. It's really, really tough.
That's
So
flax.
Yeah. Well, which turns into linen. So linen
Yes.
thread is still really, really strong. But if they would have spun this and loads and loads and loads of it and put it into ropes.
Yes.
Unbreakable ropes, totally unbreakable. Use them for their boats and things.
Yes.
And this is nettle.
And
Isn't it? Oh,
nettle.
so fluffy.
So this would have been,
The staple kind of fabric.
yes, certainly in Ireland.
Yeah, because there's a lot of nettles around. And it comes out of the fibre, out of the stalks of the nettles. So you'd harvest them in autumn when they were at their thickest and their oldest.
Yeah.
And then bash the stalks, the fibres were exposed, and then dried them. A bit like the way they would have done with flax.
Okay.
Spread them out and dried them. And just kept bashing them until you get them soft enough. And these have been bleached as well, obviously, because it's white.
Yeah.
It would have been a kind of yucky, yellowy colour.
Yes.
But it makes beautiful thread. Very, very. The German army were dressed in nettle in the First World War, most of them.
No
'Cause it was
way.
cheap, yeah, and they were poor.
Yeah. Well, they were using what they had. The herbalist is next. And you folks know that's what I'm here for. Hello! Might we take a gander at your wares?
Ah, you may indeed, you may indeed. Certainly not.
The albums. And what's this?
Chamomile?
Chamomile. I thought it was chamomile.
They used it in different teas and stuff, like chamomile teas used now. Like it was used, it's from daisies, so it was used like in a lot of things, like it was available.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I can get the sort of, I always think it's like an appley sort of smell of chamomile. I get it even just standing here.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
And what else have we got then? Is this Ramson's?
That is ribwort.
Ribwort.
Or plantain.
Okay.
So very good when it's mashed into poultice.
Yes.
For chesty coughs.
Yes.
And also sort of like insect bites, stings.
Yes.
Sort of skin rashes, pretty good on that.
And it's thought to be, even now today, it's thought to be very, very good for health. You always see the meme going around on Facebook telling you the 6 million things that plantain can do.
Yeah, absolutely. But of course it's just your common weed, really.
Indeed, and it is.
Yeah.
Farmers do be cursing it.
Yeah.
I see clover. Is it?
Yeah,
Yes.
we've got purple clover and we've got little bits of white clover in here as well.
Oh, yes.
Being used in tea.
And is this a poultice now?
This is calendula balm. It was made from calendula that was distilled,
Yes.
sort of like left to infuse into this oil.
Yes.
It's all like empty now, but then it was just mixed with melted beeswax over the fire and created into a balm to treat rashes and bumps and scars and stuff like that.
Oh, and like so practical. You know, when you try and make balms these days, they're going double boiler and this, that and the other, and everything into more or less kind of one pot or two pots, and I like that. So practical. And what's in here then?
there's a couple of different things. Lavender, mint, a few different, like there's lots going on. I know lavender and mint there definitely is, but I'm not sure about the rest because it's all dried out. I can't really see what it is. Sage, yeah, I think this is sage.
Yeah, just essentially for making the place smell nice.
Yes, yes.
It would have been a bit stinky.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. So aromatic herbs were
Yeah.
always treasured.
Absolutely.
What else have we got here then?
There's juniper berries that we ground in the pestle and mortar this morning, and it can be used for different things, but we used it to make incense. If you put it in with the charcoal, then you can
Oh, yes.
so just burn the charcoal. And then there's elderflower as well. It was used, if you sort of dry it out, it's all dried now, and put it into a tea, then it was like used for respiratory conditions like a cold or even like asthma and stuff. It would just help inflame lungs if you put it into a tea. But like with all this, like if you're on any medications or stuff, it could interfere, so you just have to be careful with it all.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's fabulous. So we've got the symbol of the snake here in this beautiful metal necklace. Probably iron.
Yeah, hand
Yes.
forged.
Hand forged, wow. And you were telling me that the snake is actually quite a popular motif in Viking mythology.
Yeah, absolutely.
What was it called?
Jormungandr,
And that's the world snake,
the world serpent, yeah.
the world serpent.
Yeah.
Excellent. I'll tell you, the more you know. So excellent introduction there to Viking herbalism / diet. You know, we're looking at the ancient feast table here, more or less. Well, obviously with the bread as well. Nom noms. A heads up here for those of you watching this in July 2021, the good folks in Ballydugan are at present still sorting out the means to accept payment cards. I didn't realise there were going to be opportunities for shopping and got caught short for a couple of impulse buys on the day, so be sure to make a stop at an ATM en route. There weren't many traders there on the day we went, but it was still a tantalising selection considering they've only been officially open for a couple of months now, and the bread treats were complimentary on the day. Thanks be to Frigg.
Forward the way, forward the way. I used to center of balance last night. I can't even stand on it.
Go from the side.
Ah, look it.
Just want to go down and have a look at the weapons.
Yes, please. We might have better look down there. So now it's up to the weapons. Ho ho ho. Got us some nice chainmail here. Or a hauberk. Got some nice spear action on the go.
Feel the weight of it.
On a day like this, you'd be bits walking.
Ready?
Lock shield wall. The inwards. Have to shout, alright? Step on! Step on! Step on! Hold! Who's ready?
Just then, we got a special visit from a red kite. These were just reintroduced into Ireland in 2010.
250 years we didn't have them birds, you know.
I've never seen one of them.
So this is an Naffle Taffle piece.
Naffle taffle, yeah, that would have probably been the king piece. It's made of lead. You can feel the weight of it. So like I say, very very popular game. Found in kings and poor people. Some are made of bone, some are made of lead, some are made of gold. But a popular game, all the same.
Wow.
So this one's been in the ground for over 1,000 years until now. It's in my pocket.
Yes, and that was found locally. Was it found in Ireland?
Yes, it was found in Ireland. Yeah, can't tell you where though.
That's all right. Oh yes.
I found it myself. Let's see if we can get a note out of it.
I'll get a whack of the longhorn. Amazing.
Nice, isn't it? Nice wee sound to it.
Majestic. I'd say you need some lungs.
And then this is my red deer stag that I did. Real head.
Oh, you made this hide?
Yeah, yeah. So there's a tanning process. You can do the old methods would have been egg yolk tanning.
Yes.
Brain tanning. Also, you take the brains from the beast. There's enough tannin in its brain to do the whole hide.
5 kilometres from there. You can drive from Donegal in the morning, but then when you go home, you have to say that.
So these were made for piercing armour. As you can see, bust through the links.
Yes. Look at those.
That's cool.
Yeah, I need one of these. I do actually have a cauldron. I'm not sure. I don't think it'd be okay to cook in it without doing a bit of reconditioning on it. And here's, yeah, that gigantic chain that it would have hung off. And something similar here to this very simple tripod with a nice hook for hanging it off. Then finally it was time to test my own skills as a Viking warrior. I'd never tried archery before, but I fancied my chances nonetheless.
And let go. At the end of the day, when we were doing this, and people were doing this in the past, the idea was to put a person on the ground.
Yes.
And if you're going to loose a load of arrows at somebody, you want to kind of hit them in the bits that are going to cause them trouble.
Yes.
So your torso and your head are the best places.
So what you're saying is, even though I almost completely missed the target at one point and got it sort of fluky, is that by getting my 2 arrows beside each other, really I'm an archery genius in the making.
Well, I'm not sure I quite said that. Well, there's a possibility. But yeah, it is, because you actually managed to get the arrows in the same place. I mean, an awful lot of people, when they do this first time, they'll get arrows up here, here, and they're never in the same place. But the fact that you managed to get them in, it means that you were following where you wanted the arrow to go.
Yes, so consistently.
Yes, it's consistent.
Average.
I mean, if you try a third one, it'd be interesting to see if you try a third one, see if you can do the same.
See if I could fluke it a third time.
Maybe not.
Okay, so I probably still need a bit of practice before I'd be battle ready. Here's a guy who doesn't. Wow.
I'll bring you back in July.
Brilliant. What, this July?
Yes.
Yeah.
And just before it was time to go, we took a sneak peek at the pottery area and had a visit from a ghost at the pottery wheel.
Swayze.
Whoa, my love. It was almost time to leave the era of the Vikings behind us, but we got a cheeky wee recommendation for one more Viking must-see in the area, and I couldn't resist elbowing one more classic movie homage in there. You guys want to go see a dead body? When the night has come and the land is dark. You guys hear that? Run!
Get a stick.
Yeah, so we're on what we were told was a disused platform here, although the signs telling you to beware of trains are quite fresh looking. But the reason we are here in this very unusual, fairly liminal place, I mean, you wouldn't be surprised if the Hogwarts Express pulled up there. Okay, this is a train platform in the middle of nowhere with nothing around it, except for this stone, which looks like it might have been here for hundreds of years, 1,000 years. But actually this stone has been erected quite recently by the Magnus Viking Association to honour the death and the final resting place of the great Jarl, the great warrior king, Magnus. And I think it's a very fitting testament to him to place this monolith, this grave marker here in this most ancient and epic of landscapes. Our last stop was with a talented friend of mine who's a crafter and glass artist based near Castle Welland. I knew she'd kick my ass if I didn't give her a shout in for tea, and we were lucky enough to catch her son Ben for a wee introduction to the landscape of the Mourns from the northern perspective.
So over there, just behind the windmill, is Little Binion, and the one right to the right is Big Binion.
Yeah.
And then, is it Hen over there?
Hen, yeah, hen's the one that looks like a hen.
Oh, the hen one.
It's the one very triangular.
So the one that is over there,
Yes.
sort of just before the big dip, that's Commodore.
Okay.
Remember, this is going on to Tara's page, so if you get it wrong, 1,000+ people will go, that's not right.
1,000+ people will come on and tell us what the right thing is, and then we will know.
Yeah, that's the point.
That's how that works. We've just made a quick pit stop on the way home for tea. It had to be done with my good friend Francis, the absolutely multi-talented crafter. Is this a green man I see here, Francis?
Yes.
I love your display.
Oh no, that's the Lady of the Woods.
Oh, the Lady of the Woods. Oh, so she
Absolutely.
is. Look at her there. She's fabulous. Oh, wow. So what is that? Is that etching or is that moulding? Or how have you done that,
mould.
Francis?
So it's, if I turn it around, you can see from the back, you can see that it's indented.
Yes.
So it's a ceramic mould that you lay the glass over and then fire the glass to 805 degrees C.
Okay, yes.
And then it's
well, don't give away all your trade secrets,
No,
Francis.
that's not a trade secret, that's a well-known fact. So it's in the kiln for about 14 hours in total.
Yes.
Because it has to be annealed really, really slowly because it's a big piece.
Yes.
But she is my favourite, I have to say.
Oh, she's stunning.
She is my favourite.
Show us what else we have here now.
And then we have, these are ceramic paintings. These are part of the exhibition that didn't go ahead due to COVID.
Oh, yeah.
So it was all sea-based. And obviously after all my years in Carlingford, I did lots of seas over the years.
Yeah, of course.
Don't know
How could you
why.
not in a place like that?
Well, exactly. So that was one of the pieces that I did, especially my mermaids.
This is your mermaids.
Again, that's done,
look.
done on a ceramic mould.
So good.
And then my big sea.
I know.
And the big seascape, because I don't often, these are, again, that's a ceramic painting, whereas this one is a painting on glass. And I use very tiny, we call it frit, but basically from powders up to sort of like, I don't know, about 3 or 4 mil lumps of glass. And then this bit is really clever because this is actually a chemical reaction between copper and selenium, and it gives you that beachy feel.
Wow.
And because each piece is made individually, even if I make a batch, they'll all be completely different.
Yeah.
You know, they'll be recognisable as C's, but they won't necessarily be, well, they won't be the same.
Yes.
But some people will see a place in them. And again, you know, I drove that coast road for how many years?
Yeah, I know. Oh, you're so talented with it though, and like you're so curious. All the experimental methods that you use, I just love them. I love seeing what you're going to come out with next. What are you called? Your
Brick, glass and clay.
Brick, glass and clay on the Facebooks, on the Instagrams, on all the places. I think you're actually better at social media than I am.
I wish.
How long have you been crafting for now, Francis? It seems like you've been doing it forever.
Professionally since 1993.
Yeah.
But I mean, I learnt in it when I was 4.
Didn't most of us. Something to keep us busy and out of trouble,
yeah.
Francis.
And then, you know, somebody will then say to you, have you tried this? And you go off and do something else. I mean, I learnt to crochet at 50.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I'm always doing something different.
And you're a hell of a crocheter too. I see actually some of your beautiful hats down here.
Yes, there to go to the Kingfisher. It's, at the moment, it's like, because we've got back to normal, but it's not normal. And it's just like, it's madness.
Yeah.
Everywhere is madness.
I know. And Francis also does fabulous jewellery and with polymer clay as well as with glass. And I mean, we'll give a very quick scan of the workshop here just to give you an idea of the Aladdin's cave of crafting that's going on here. Okay, Francis has it sussed.
We wish you had it tidy.
Yeah, well, you know,
We do
for
tidy
again
up
now,
then.
won't you, Francis?
We do tidy up when we have people here.
Yeah, when they give you notice, when they're
Yeah.
nice and polite, not like ditch witches just landing in on top of you. Well, that's just the way it is, Francis, isn't it?
It just is. Right, let's take it outside.
We take it when we can get it.
Absolutely.
Poor Ben was sent in to pull me out some Moroccan mint. So I definitely think I'm sorted for Moroccan mint now this year. Even if my tiny wee bit at home doesn't take off, we have a jungle of it here. Oh, the smell of it's amazing. Oh my god. Let's just have a wee smell. Oh my god.
Lovely tea.
Oh, it's amazing.
Lovely tea.
Yeah, so there'll be cups of Moroccan mint tea now coming up. So we've had it really lucky now. All day it was meant to be raining today. Thankfully it wasn't. We had like stone splitting sunshine all day. Everybody at the Viking village was getting sunstroke, including us. And I can just see now that big dramatic cloud bank coming in there, letting us know that rain is on the way. So I thank whatever Norse gods were on our side today that decided that they wanted us to learn about Viking life, because it must have been them guys keeping that cloud bank off us. Look at that. I can actually nearly see a Viking helmet in that. Can you see that? I know you shouldn't be looking because you're driving, but look, that's really wicked looking. That is so badass. Valhalla! So hit subscribe for more fun and witchy adventures. I upload every Thursday, usually on a Monday or Tuesday as well. We are steaming our way towards 4,000 watch hours at this point, so every little really helps. I'm glad to have you all along. So glad you're enjoying the channel. Slán agus beannacht. Goodbye and good luck to you. Today we are on the road. We're heading north. We're heading north to Ballydugan. Blah 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 blah.
Perfect.
The end. That's the end of that story.
That's the whole video.
Authentic Viking t-shirt there.
But it is really strong. I mean, you cannot break that, but said she just break it. Absolutely not.
Just really.
Oh, Jesus! Oh shit, I didn't f***ing film that. When the night has come and the land is dark. You guys hear that?